What's up guys, and welcome to my first Gran Turismo video, and we're starting off with an absolute banger of the race. Now, it's the Nurburgring Endurance track, 6 laps around it, which means it's races that can last between 50 minutes and an hour. Add in rain, and this is going to be one hell of a race. We're starting here in P4 with a qualifying lap that I wasn't particularly happy with. But we're going to have to deal with it. It's a long race. There is some fuel saving involved as well. So let's see how this goes. As we start off here in P4 with a Dutchman up ahead. And as we go down the pretty short straight into turn 1, we have a look up the inside and we get it done. But we've gone way too tight. Contact behind as well, but we retain P3 up until Charles, the Spaniard ahead, overtakes us. That's okay, it's a very long race, and there's a little bit of contact there between us two, but eventually I'm going to get the move done again. He has a look up my inside here, but it's tough to go up the inside through that corner because there's so much space, and we make the move. Now, however, I run wide here and trying to cover off this guy. We both end up spinning off onto the grass. I end up catching it, he doesn't. But we lose another couple of positions in the end. We're down to P5 with Paul ahead of us here. And we get swallowed up into here. We end up going wide, forcing somebody else even wider. And coming off of the GP part of the track here, we get overtaken up the inside down into P6 now with a Belgian up ahead. But this is not as bad as it gets. It gets much worse going through this race, as for some reason we're on the grass really stupidly there, and we make a bit of a sketchy overtake which gets us a penalty that we probably deserve. Now this is where it all really starts going wrong with that penalty, and we spin out, which is not what you want to do, as we have a meeting with the grass, with the barriers, and we are going to come back onto the track in a very lonely P14 here with a Spaniard up ahead. We've got still quite a large gap behind, and now can we make some overtakes? I know I'm much quicker than these guys, but that guy, wow, he was going way too slowly through there, and then he comes back onto the track, sends me and him into the wall, and that did not really work out well for either of us, and we make a bit of a hash of reversing back onto the track, but we do come back on, still in P14, and so far we're only on lap 1, but this race has gone very bad, very fast. And now here, he goes very slow through there, so we're just going to come up the inside and get the move done. And that should be the end of it, right? No, he just punts me off, and it just continues to get worse and worse, really. This guy is dirty, and I'm much quicker than him, and I just can't seem to get past. He goes wide, and I think, right, easy overtake. No, he comes straight into my path, and more bad luck for me, really, because now we are miles off of the leaders, miles off of where I really want to be, and I'm still stuck behind this guy. Now, again, just going so slowly through there, I can't get the overtake, but coming up to the carousel here, can we get a move up the inside? Here we'll see. And he comes off of the banking, which just allows me to nip up the inside and move, finally, up into P13, and hopefully that's going to be it there. Now in P12 here, we move up the inside of that guy, and that brings us up to P11 with a Belgian just up ahead, and he runs very wide through there, which means we will move up into the top 10 again, which is probably where we deserve to be and where we should be. Now this guy running very wide there, and we're going to move up into P9. Now we can see here, it is starting to rain a little bit, and I wasn't sure whether it was correct to go onto the inters this lap, as we've got somebody else off up ahead. And in the end, I decided to go one more lap, because it is still dry conditions, but it's an 8-minute lap, which means you could get caught out on the wrong tyre for a very long time. And at this point, it probably is inters, as this guy goes off up ahead, which moves us up into P6. And we've got to be very, very cautious on these dry tyres here. We've got the fastest lap bagged as well from lap 2. So we're evidently making a good comeback here in this race. But we just go wide there. It's okay though, we managed to recover it, or do we? No, we don't. And that just loses us a lot of momentum in this race and a couple positions as we're down back to P7. What can we do there now here? We've got to survive the rest of the lap up until the intercept. The same guy that's just passed me makes another error and he is back down to P7. But we move up into P6 here as we go very wide and we're into the wall. Now we can see here the guys up ahead are going onto the intermediate tyres here. And I'm going to follow them in onto the inters. We've got a very, very long gap ahead. But in these treacherous conditions, in a race as long as this, we're only halfway through. Who knows, we could make a comeback. Now we feed out in P7 with, I think, the Belgian that we overtook a while ago out, but on the wrong tyres. And he goes very wide through there, as do I. He spun out, though, and we move up. Now somebody up ahead kindly leaves, so we're up into P5. And we've got another guy who I believe is on the wrong tyres here. And we just go up the inside. Yeah, definitely on the dries. Severe lack of grip for him. Now, the gap up ahead is absolutely enormous. But I noticed that we were gaining on this guy quite a lot here. And now we've got yellow flags up ahead. I wonder, can we get ahead here? Move up into the podium positions? Yes, we can. And we're up into P3, which is, to be fair, a remarkable comeback. Now we can see here the gap to Paul up ahead is coming down a lot, now down to about 15 seconds. And I know he qualified quite low down. He clearly didn't have as much pace as I did. And I was just wondering, could we possibly get the overtake here? Is the gap now down to less than 10 seconds? And we've still got quite a long way to go in this race. We're catching up. Can we get the overtake done here? Is the gap down to just a few seconds now? The leader's well ahead. We're not catching him. Now, noticing here, it is dry tyres at the moment, but there's only one lap left. However, it is the Nurburgring, and it's an incredibly long lap. So, Paul ahead decides to go in, and I'm going to follow him because that is probably the fastest method. Now, here, we're over a minute off of the lead. On the right tyres, though, so that'll come down. But the gap to the lead is way too big. However, the gap to Paul is very, very doable to chase down. And look at this, we're on the back of him now. With still quite a way to go, about 4 minutes left in this race. And we are on the back of Paul. Can we get the overtake done, though? We've got a large gap behind. However, I thought it was a bit larger than it was, as we go wide there and miss our braking point off into the wall. And that really ended our battle for second place. And I was pushing too hard here, trying to catch the gap up. And suddenly, we're down into P3, a long way off of second, but also quite a way off of fourth. Or were we? Nope. We're down into P4 now as Charles overtakes us. And at the end of the lap, on the final lap, is there enough time for us to make the overtake here? With just 3 corners to go? No, there is not going to be enough time. Surely not. Can we make it through here? We've gained a lot of time, but we slide on the exit, and that's going to be that. After 53 minutes of racing, we come home eventually to finish in P4. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more of this content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again